Recording here. Good?
Got it.
Welcome, everyone. We are live, the Unite Show special Friday edition with Sara and Parisa talking about women's circles and the power of women's circles. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, thank you so much, Shine. You're so radiant, and your invitation to join was so beautiful and exciting, and I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. Tell it. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying thank you for having us. It's a great opportunity to be on your platform and talk about Soulect and talk about what we're so passionate about.
Yeah, so why don't you both share a little bit about you and what you're offering, and just give us kind of like the 5-minute download of what Soulect and the women's circles are all about.
Thank you. The 5-minute download, I like that. Soulect started out of just like a sheer passion and desire to bring personal development into the world and to make it really normal. It started with a vision to make personal development as big as Facebook, as corny as that is really how it began. My sister and I, we got together and we created this platform just out of love and passion. Sara, feel free to jump in and tell the story. But now we've transitioned to just hosting women's circles, where we originally began just hosting circles with which were online with men and women all over the world. But in the summertime, just a few months ago, I felt a really strong calling to just focus on women's circles because I accidentally ended up in one. My Soulect circle ended up being all women. And the power of it was so intense and strong. And it was just such a beautiful experience, women coming together and just openly sharing and caring and just like crying, healing, doing all of that together, that I was like, okay, this is really important. And I felt a really strong desire to just host women's circles and to do it now in person only. So I'm hosting them in my living room, which is kind of, the space is like made for it. It's like the fireplace and the open. Yeah, it's just been a really beautiful time. And on Sunday, just in a couple of days, we're going to be hosting a free women's circle for any woman who is interested in the Vancouver area to join. And then if they decide that it's something that they wish to continue, they can join the circles that are starting next week. The first one starting on Tuesday. And these are consecutive circles, which mean you're in the same circle with like the same group of women, really building that community with each other, that safety for, week after week. And I think I'm going to pause there because I can speak about all the details and it gets too overwhelming because there's so many different moving pieces, but that's the most important part. Sara, what would you add?
I think you said it all. That was well said.
Oh, so fun. So tell us a little bit about Soulect and the kind of the vision behind it and where it started and where it's going. Where do you see it? What's the big vision?
Thanks, Shine. I like that question. So it started from me being a major loner in my little bubble, working on myself, like, consciously becoming aware of, like, I don't really love the way that I'm showing up in the world, and just, had my little awakening, if you will. And so I became obsessed with it, and like inner work was my everyday obsession. And in this process, I became really alone. Like I just went into my own inward bubble, not sharing it with anyone, or I didn't really know anybody else who was working on themselves, or maybe they were also hiding it. I don't know. And so I really just felt really alone, and I felt like I didn't relate deeply to the people around me and to the world, I guess, too. And while I was in my full-time studies, studying psychology, I like when my classes, I remember it was summertime, my classes kind of slowed down, and I just had this big like epiphany, like, what do I want to do with my life? What would make me feel most fulfilled? Like the moment that I know I'm going to die, what would I need to be doing in the world to feel like, okay, I can die in peace? And then this kind of started my, passion and intense desire for a personal development platform that's massive, like that's as widely used as social media platforms like Instagram and Facebook, for that to be the norm in the world, for people to be so conscious and intentional about who they want to become, like what they want to do in the world and what they want to leave behind. Like that was just so exciting to me. I'm like, that's what I want to create. And so that journey kind of started. And then Sara, you tell your part, because then I have this big epiphany and I tell her and I'll let her tell the rest.
And at that time I was actually living in Australia myself. And Parisa and I are about 3 years apart. I'm the older one, but I think after her kind of awakening, it just felt like she was the older sister, and I was looking up to her, and there was a lot that I was learning from her, and that was really beautiful for me. And at that time I was about 26, 27, and I was really lost in my own personal life, and she was just kind of like guiding me to do this and do that. And then she came up with this epiphany that she's going to have a personal development platform. It's going to be as big as Facebook. And I was like, oh my goodness, like what a great opportunity. I am your number one customer. I feel like I'm going through this development myself. I've just had the quarter life crisis. I don't know what I'm doing with my life. Come and ask me and I will tell you. And when she had that epiphany, it was just a very open idea of like, okay, this is going to be as widely used as social media platforms, but she didn't know what it was going to look like. So for me, it was like, there's nothing that is going to be as big as social media platforms if it doesn't include other people. So if it's going to be a personal development movement, it needs to happen with others. And I've always been a very social person, so it makes sense that I would say this, but I just knew that it would be so powerful to do this together. It got to the point that we were talking so much back and forth and giving ideas and throwing ideas around that it just kind of made sense for me to come back to Vancouver. And that's exactly what I did. So when I came back to Vancouver, I think it took us like a day or so, or the day after I landed, we started hosting meetups and inviting people to just come and join meaningful conversations. At this point, we still had no idea what Soulect would look like. We just wanted to talk to people about their journeys. Like, where have you been? Do you have anyone to talk to? And we learned very quickly that actually this is a very strong need in people's lives, and they don't know where to go to talk to people about things that matter to them. To be open, to be vulnerable, to be expressive. So it was something really fascinating that just kind of grew organically. And then we found entrepreneurship at UBC. They kind of took us in, like, the beautiful parents of entrepreneurship, and they really helped us with where Soulect is today. We did hundreds of customer discovery and interviews, and just kind of through those answers from those people, we learned what people are lacking and how they would solve their own problems. And we pretty much got the answers from these interviews, and we created something that we thought would help people. Ran a couple pilots where we tested our kind of results, and the rest is history. We launched about a year ago, and here we are. Exactly a year ago, actually.
Wow. That's so cool. And so now you've pivoted from online only to in-person only and local only and women only. So really like niching down into a very specific focus, which I guess is some people think is a really great move. How's that been for you, like moving from this bigger and maybe less clear version to like a very specific focus?
It wasn't like a strategic choice. Sara had suggested many times that like we need to kind of be more specific and it needs to be more women's. And I remember I felt really resistant to it. And I was like, no, I want men to also be in the space. And I value like masculine energy and like for them to come and be in the space and, different perspectives. And then after that experience of me accidentally ending up in an all women's circle, then I was like, oh, I see. I see the power, like, let's do it. But it really just happened really organically, and it's still at the very beginning. Like, it's only been since November.
Nice.
So yeah, but it's been beautiful. It just feels right. Like, it feels in alignment in my heart. It just feels good. You know, when something you're doing something and it just
Yep.
feels good, and you know that you're going the right direction, the right path.
Yeah.
That's what I could say about it so far. Yeah.
Mm. When we were chatting yesterday or the day before, and you were sharing a bit about the business now and where it is, and that you're both doing this full time and making enough to live off of it, which is like a pretty big thing. It's a big accomplishment to be a full-time entrepreneur and being able to support yourself and support other people. And you were like, oh yeah, you know, like that's not really the focus, because I would do this for free, but it's so great to be able to do that. And what do you think are some of the like secrets of your success that have helped you both create something that now can sustain you and that's impacting people in this meaningful way and can one day grow into something, you know, as big or bigger than Facebook?
That's a really cool question. I'm like thinking back to our conversation. I'm like, did I say that? Because it's only been we're still so new, and
Yeah,
we don't make that much money at this point. But I genuinely don't care. Like, it just doesn't even make a difference. Like,
mm,
like at all, because I have so much faith
mm,
that, like, the direction that we're going is the right one, and we're making impact in people's lives, and the vision that I originally had of elevating the consciousness, bringing more like intentional living into the world, and all of that is happening. So I really like, the money is kind of just irrelevant at this point, because I have so much faith that, like, when I continue going, it's there. It's like a seed that's been planted, and it's growing right now.
mm,
So I'll answer your question as if we're super profitable. I think that was the word that you used. And I would just say, like, honestly, you have to do something that you love so much that the money just doesn't even matter. It's not even a thought in your mind, because you love it so deeply.
mm,
And the second factor would be faith, like just having trust that what
mm,
I love it because that's what I'm meant to be doing with my life energy. That's what I'm meant to be doing on this planet. And I have faith that abundance flows for me while I'm in this space of being in my own purpose and not in somebody else's.
mm.
Soon we'll come back on this interview and I'll tell you, we're making billions, Shine.
There was also a conversation that we had in yesterday's call that really stood out to me. And I would say that Parisa and I, without really actively agreeing on this or having an agreement or anything, we just kind of very naturally and organically fell into this other side of entrepreneurship, which wasn't about grinding, which wasn't about hustling, which was a lot more feminine way of, you know, more feminine frame than that kind of masculine kind of driven energy. And it was just kind of a lot of allowing and a lot of filling our own cups and tending to our own health, whether it's physically, spiritually, emotionally, just kind of being in a very good space and raising our frequency, that opportunities just aligned for us and things just came our way. And it was a lot more kind of more loving, smoother way of doing entrepreneurship, which I think is not as well practiced as the other kind. And I really love that about our venture. You know, there were times where it's actually funny, we're talking about this. I was reading my old journal just an hour ago. And it was about how we took time off to be with our mom for Persian New Year.
Mm.
And that was like a whole weekend or like whole week or something. And it was just, I liked it. I liked it then and I like it now that we're able to peacefully and, you know, take time off and not feel guilty about it. That's been really, really beautiful. And if I could, I would absolutely, if there's one piece of information I could give other entrepreneurs, it would be that.
Yeah, there needs to be a switch, I think, just on our, I mean, that's the whole piece on, expanded consciousness, right? We're no longer moving from a place of scarcity, of like, let's hustle, let's move, everything's on my own shoulders. There's no support in this universe. Like, I have to make it happen. And move into like, I'm a piece of this universe, and whatever force created me, whatever force intended for me to be here is going to support every step. I don't need to make things happen by my hands with these little hands. Like, I can let go, tend to my own heart, like love and trust, and then just allow this beautiful, benevolent, powerful force to create things for me, and just like enjoy the whole journey rather than being so anxious to make things happen. I'm ready to completely step out of that and just like enjoy my life and be at peace.
That's so good. My body just like relaxed even deeper as you were talking. I'm like, oh yeah, that's good.
See, that's exactly the sign. Your body relaxing is your spirit telling you, yes, this is right. And when we feel anxious, it's our body telling us, no, darling, you're going the wrong direction. That's not the truth. Then we need to go the other way. Yeah.
And I think Parisa and I we did this at the beginning, didn't we? There was like a short period at the beginning where we were hustling. And then I remember it was like during the winter months. And then we finally had like a clear day. And Parisa and I went to Kitsilano area, and we were just in nature and like those beautiful residential areas. And we were hugging trees. When we made a pact that they were like, let's never do that again. Like, why do we? Oh, that doesn't make sense. And let's always fill our own cups first. Let's always go from a place where we are feeling good personally before we tend to our business, because sometimes your business turns into your baby. And Crystal was talking about how hard it was, like an actual baby as a mother, last night, to be like, I can't possibly fill my own cup first. Like, I have to tend to my baby. But it's like, no, you got to put your own oxygen mask on first before you can tend to anyone or anything else. Crystal, I love your reactions on here. I feel you feeling me.
It's so weird for me not being on camera. I feel like I put so much like nodding and smiling and thumbs up and fingers, and I know it can sometimes, when we're sharing, for myself, when I'm sharing, and sometimes you're like, is anyone even getting this? Am I even making sense? And I so appreciate when I get those little like indications from other people when I'm talking, like that they're hearing me and they agree. Or for me, whenever people are talking, I want to be like, I hear you. I'm paying attention. It's resonating. Just giving that. Whenever we're like audience in watching something live, and I always try and sit in the front row if I can, especially if we're there, supporting someone. And they're always like, I was so nervous, but then I saw you and Shine sitting in the front row with your huge grins and like cheering us on and clapping and looking around and being like paying attention. And I'm like, yeah, like that's our only job as an audience, is to show, really, like we can absorb, but like the way we can contribute back is to show up for who's presenting. And so anyway, it's very weird for me to be on a black screen today, but I am hearing. And I wanted to say thank you so much to Parisa and Sara for role modeling and walking your talk and doing what you're doing, because it's so needed. But then you're even choosing to, run your business in a very aligned way, but then be very forward facing with it. So it feels, I haven't been to one of your circles yet, but I can really imagine that the people there are getting to experience this version of you where you're showing up, you're showing them how to that they need to just be them, and that's okay, and slow down and love yourself. And that's where the alignment in the business success comes from. So yeah, thank you for being awesome role models and willing to not only, show that off by just being you to your community, but actually holding space for other people to be part of your vortex, because I'm sure you share amazing wisdom in your workshops as well. And Kathy and Paul, the same as space holders. It's just whatever you put into the vortex is so good. The tools and the tricks and the learnings, But really, like for me as a space holder, I just love and appreciate the people who are willing to like set the date, invite the people, clean the room, light the candles, hold the space, because that there's so much intentionality in that I feel like that's like the cake, and everything else, the teaching, the wisdom, the cacao, the circle, all that stuff is like the amazing icing and cherry on top. It's wonderful. But without that foundation, we would have a pile of icing. So yeah, thank you everyone for holding such beautiful space and making community cakes.
That was adorable. I love that. Thank you for sharing, Crystal, and thank you for your beautiful words.
Yeah. I wonder if I have more questions, but does anyone else have questions or want to share anything?
I just wanted to, I heard Crystal mentioning workshops, and I was like, oh, okay, we weren't even clear on what we offer because we don't offer workshops. So I would love to explain what it is that we do and like the purpose for the circles, just as quick as I can. We're still trying to find the quickest way to explain it, but really the purpose, really the purpose is intentional living, as I've expressed. And what we do is in Circle, really, we help people create a life vision, and then we help them actualize that life vision through community and accountability within that community, and then the structure that we provide. So that's really all that, like in a sum, that's what we offer. And then in this process, there's so much that comes up, because when you create a life vision, then so much comes up that's like, this is in the way, I have this resistance in the way, I have this block in the way, I have this trauma, I have this da-da-da. And then so in Circle, and we gather every week for 2 hours and really hold that safe container, we have a space to process and heal all those things and share it with, cry and hug and all of that. And just this alone really feels like enough to step out of the circle and into the world with a more loving heart, with a more open heart, because you have your community who is, just who's there for you. You have a sense of belonging, you have a sense of love and connection in your life, and people see you deeply and they don't judge you. So then you feel more loved and loving. And yeah, so it's been a really beautiful journey. Like I didn't, when I had the vision to create this platform, I didn't know it was going to be circles. That's largely due to my sister. Like that, she was like, yeah, they need to be circles. And I'm so grateful for that, because it's impacted me personally as this loner, closed off person to really come out and show my heart and see that, wow, people care. They love me. They are crying with me. They want to support me. And that's been so healing for me. That has opened up my heart and has opened up my life really to so many different opportunities that I would have missed if I was still in my closed little shell.
I wonder if that was clear to everyone. And I'm only asking because we're still trying to figure out how to explain what Soulect is. Are there any questions that comes out of that for you guys?
I think you're doing a great job of sharing the vision. For me, I like it, what you said, like, we're going to kind of go through a few practices, and through that, we're going to find stuff to unpack. Before I would, sign up for something, I always love if there is like an outline of like, we'll be in circle, there will be time to share on your own, time to work together. Like you said, accountability. Do you assign the accountability people? So that kind of thing, maybe not needing in the first general overview, but those are always details that I love, and what I find a lot of entrepreneurs and a lot of business people do. And to be honest, I've looked a bit at your site, but I haven't dug in all the way. So I'm not sure if you do that. But what a lot of people do is they start with the vision, which is really amazing. But for me to pick something and choose something to sign up and be a part of, first I love like, and I just shared the free intro, and I saw you just have very quick, like it's this time, this location, and then a little write up about it. So that was really nice and clear. And for me, that's always what I'm looking for, is really like, you know, what are the key facts and what are the key points? And then from there, I want the story and I want the vision. So I think I saw on your sign up for the free intro that it was really, that was perfect, super clear. And I would say for the bigger workshop too, if you don't have that, just bring those details up to the top. And then, yeah, then I feel like it's always an easy yes. I think something that we've been getting a lot of feedback on, and something that we try and do, and I want to do more of, I noticed you only have one photo of the group. So get some more images of like what the group looks like and what kind of the people. For me, I'm a visual person, so I'm like, oh, if it looks like there's other people like me there, I might want to be part of it. So I would say, you know, even if people don't want to be photographed in the group, like stage a fake one and get some nice photos with your friends, just because that for me is always a big seller, is just to see that these people look like me, they look like they're having fun, they look like they're enjoying it. And then even if you can do a video, because you guys are so compelling and I love what you share, and I would way rather watch a video of what you guys, what Soulect is and what the group is, than read a page. And that's just me, my dyslexic brain loves to just like, tell me what it is, don't make me read. So yeah, I would say those are my kind of feedback points, but I think your site looks amazing, and yeah, congratulations. And Kathy has her hand up.
Like a good little girl. Me, please.
I'll take it down now. Okay.
A little harder.
Okay, after I'm done. Well, Parisa, I was listening and I was following along, and then I felt like I got lost a little bit. I guess this is just to give you guys feedback, right? It's not just I'm not a promo video or anything. I'm not putting my foot in my mouth there, but I hate to do that on your time.
Yeah, ask for it.
So what happened for me was I was listening, and I start, because we're fresh. We just kind of hopped on to support Crystal and Shine and to see what's going on. And I thought it had something to maybe do with womb healing. And
Say that 3 times.
Womb healing.
I think Kathy's future projecting our next week's episode, and you just caught us a week early, and obviously we're going to have to track down a womb healer now for next week.
Yeah, but then it was like I didn't understand completely what was happening in the circle. Only like you gave a few outlines, and then and this helped me so much. And I found out I was this and that, the other thing. And it's just like, what happened to that group of women that you were talking about? Like, I was like, none of us would be doing this if we weren't getting what we got out of it. Right. I hope. And because, sometimes days are diamonds and some days are stones, but, maybe it's because it's so new in this format that there isn't a lot to talk about how other people have done what they've done with your work yet, or it's forming, or you're really noticing what it's doing for you, and that is translating out, right? Because Paul and I do everything we do for ourselves first, and then we bring it when we've alchemized outward, and hope that others resonate with what we're offering, because it appeals as much to them as us. And we don't want anybody who it doesn't appeal to, because then what we've noticed too is we start twisting ourselves a little bit this way for that one person over here, and then a little bit this way for that one. And the whole main path has been kind of veering because of it. And so I'd love to hear, the thoughts you have, like, around what you're doing with the women and how, and what so you're mentioning community as well, that you're helping them support themselves with, emotionally and as well as practically, and that they're accountable to each other? Is it kind of like a co-coaching kind of thing? I guess
Thank you
a
for
long
these
question.
questions. No, but I got it. Yeah, that was very good. And I'm grateful that Sara asked that question. That was great. Sometimes because there's so many different things that's going on within what we do, I find that it overwhelms. So then I catch myself when I get too much into the details. But I resonated deeply with what you said, Crystal, and I actually made a note of it. So thank you, because it is important. So at Soulect, we follow a wheel of life model. We go through the different categories of life and we bring consciousness to each area. Like, what do I want my relationship with myself to look like? What do I want my health to look like? What do I want my relationship with my partner to look like? All these different areas of life. So when somebody joins, we begin with relationship with self, because that is the foundation for all of life, really, how you relate to yourself. And each week, and these areas of life, we spend 12 weeks in each of them. And each week there's an inner work. So at the beginning, it might just be where I am now, just really just looking objectively, where am I now? What does this part of my life really look like? And the women will do that work on their own. And then when we come together, then we share on what came up for us. And then the next week, it might be, what do I want this area to look like? If there were absolutely no limits and I can just dream, what do I choose for this area of my life to look like? And then we'll gather and we'll share. And each circle we start with just an emotional check-in. Let's just connect with our bodies. How are we really feeling today? Like, truthfully. And then we go through a clearing. Just, is there anything that's been on my mind and heart that needs to be cleared for me to be present in this call? And then each woman gets 15 minutes of uninterrupted time to themselves to just express what they need to express. It might be the inner work that they had just worked on. They might choose to say, oh, this week, you guys, something happened so big that I want to spend this time to talk about this thing. And the inner work right now isn't priority for me in this moment. I can come back to it. So really that 50 minutes is theirs to use how they feel best, like what they need most, really. And so each woman has that time, and then you can say at the end, I would like to hear your thoughts on this, or I would like to hear your observations, or maybe this week I don't want to hear anything. And then we finish it off with a declaration, which is just an intention. This is the intention that I'm making for my week. This is what I'm going to do. This is what happened in my life, and I'm saying it to my circle, to the universe, and to myself, that this is my intention for this week. So we close it off kind of with that. And then we just have a closing meditation together. And when we speak about accountability, it is organically created because you're meeting every single week with the same people. And they know, what you declared last week of what the intention that you made about what you're going to do. So they're going to follow you up and be like, did you do that? How did that go? You set this intention. You said you're going to create this for this part of your life. So that's when we speak about the accountability in the community, that's like the details of what we mean by that.
Can I chime in here for just a second? I think it's great that Parisa went into explaining the details of exactly what we do, but I think if I were to kind of sum it up in a way that might be a little bit easier for someone who hasn't experienced Soulect to know what it's about, is to tell you guys about what the women actually receive when they join these circles. And as someone who's very dedicated to their personal development, which are all these women who come to us. And, for us, personal development just means you want to get to know yourself on a deeper level. You want to understand why you have certain reactions and why you show up in the certain ways that you do. And you are dedicated to getting closer and closer to that source and kind of getting to know yourself. And sometimes these are hard conversations, and sometimes these are conversations you cannot have with your mom or dad or your best friend even, because they're on a different frequency. they're operating from a different world, and you don't connect with them on that deeper level. And that's what Parisa was talking about not having anyone to talk to. And this is exactly me, who was surrounded with many friends and acquaintances, and I still felt lonely because I didn't have people to talk about this part of my life, which was becoming more and more important to me. So really the reason why the women want to come back every week is because it's a dedicated space where everything is welcome, where you show up as you are and nothing is judged, nothing is turned away. You can just be as you are, and you can say all the things that you're feeling and all the things that's coming up for you. And these actually, even if your life is that amazing that things don't normally come up for you, that's what the inner work that Parisa was talking about does. So that's their guiding questions that kind of get you to go deeper. And you get to do that on your own. You get to reflect on your own, and then you get to come to Circle and actually speak to people about your experience of the inner work and share that with them, which is a beautiful thing. And of course, you get to have your own time where you're talking to everybody around you. But also another thing that we didn't really think about ourselves, and it just kind of happened organically, is that the love we feel when we are able to support other people's growth, when we are contributing to others' journeys. It's that was another cool thing as well, because it's not about the culture is not about what do I get out of it? It's actually, you're supporting other people as well. You're supporting others, their growth, and you inspire, which is amazing. And the accountability, which also Parisa explained, which just happens organically when you have the same group of people coming together week by week. And not only do you get to go deeper because you're getting to understand one another on a deeper level, but also these are your personal development homies. This is your group. You want to impress them. You want to be on their level. You want to, if your group is doing really, really well, you kind of want to match their level of growth, which has been a huge form of inspiration for myself and for others in the circle.
Thank you. I really got some clarity there. Thanks so much. Do you, like you say each woman has 15 minutes? Is this with the whole group, or is this you break down into two groups and you share with?
It's with the whole group. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you have a very intimate group then to get through, like 6 people.
Yeah. Exactly. Nice. So when we did it online, it was either Parisa and I facilitating, and then we had 4 other members. But now we've learned that with in-person circle, we might have room for 1 other person, just because people are like more willing to stay a little bit behind if it does go over. But yeah, they're very intimate groups, which is another beautiful thing about it, because every single person gets devoted time to actually share. And even on a week that you're like, I haven't done the inner work, or you guys, I can't talk today, we encourage them. We're like, well, let's start with this question. How are you feeling today? And just kind of guide them through it. And that's been really beautiful too, because a lot of people are like, you know what, I didn't feel like talking today, or I felt like I didn't have a whole lot to say, but once I had that dedicated time, I learned that things came up.
Mm-hmm. Thanks.
Thanks for that question.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for sharing that, you two. That was really good. I did, while you were talking, I did actually poke around on your site and saw you have some lovely infographics there. So you do actually have some really great information on there. I would say the only thing that we keep getting feedback about is people want to spend like seconds with you, not, so we need to catch them quicker. So for me, even if it's quick and easy, or you've got someone who can add another page for you that says quick overview, and on that page, it should say, nowhere in there did it say the location where you guys meet. Because for me, if I live in Mission, I love this. I read all this stuff. This is amazing. I call you guys, I do a thing. And then it's like, oh, you're in Kits. that's a long drive for me, or I don't even have a car kind of thing. So I think I would have the location really prominent. And then a little bit of what you said with the overview. We're going to be doing these modules. We can just in like one page where it's like point, because you've got it on a couple different pages in depth, which is amazing. And I would just say have one overview slide, because then I could see, okay, that's my price range, that's my location, that's perfect. Oh, and what day do you meet on? Oh, maybe I've got like a standing thing on Tuesdays and I would never be able to come anyway. So for me, if I just spent like half an hour digging in and getting so excited about your work, and then I'm like, fuck, I can't come on Tuesdays. So, you know, kind of just knowing that information really quickly is really helpful for me and makes me feel like it's an easy yes, and like it's easy to encourage other people to participate and to come, and because I just have all the facts right away. So that's something that people always tell us, and I always notice too, is whenever people make it just super like quick, here's the quick overview, and then have all that beautiful backing information that you have, but make sure that somewhere, and when if you do like a Facebook event or anything too, that stuff's just right at the top. But yeah, I think you have a beautiful way of explaining it in there. So good. I would love more pictures of you guys and like a video of you guys speaking too, but that's just me being a visual person. So yeah, that module piece really, and I'd really lead with the 12, what did you call it? The 12, how it works too.
Wheel of life.
The wheel of life, yeah, I really love that, because right there, that tells me that you guys, a circle is lovely, but it tells me that you guys have an intention and a focus. And if I show up in a place where I'm like, I don't want to share, I'm cranky, what am I going to do? Ugh. And to know, oh, they've got a plan, they've got a strategy, they're going to support us through it. That really makes you guys stand out above any other women's circle that I know of happening in Vancouver. So I think that's something I would really stress and focus in your marketing and advertising, and when you speak about it. And if you want an elevator pitch, I would get that in your elevator pitch of there's the wheel and over 12 weeks, and we're going to guide you through these focus pieces, because I think anyway, to me that feels like, okay, you know, I want to hear more. That sounds cool and useful, and the social piece is amazing as well. So get those two pieces in there, and I think then, you know, we wait for people to ask questions. We're very much in the same boat, Shine and I, where we have so much that we want to share about, and we always get the feedback like, just pick one focus, and then if people like that, they can ask more, and they can, you know, dig in and ask more questions. But we'll be like, oh yeah, and we're doing this thing, we're doing that thing, and don't forget this, and oh my God, this is so cool. And we're doing this because we needed this, and yeah. So we love that energy. But what we've been learning is people, especially when it's their first meeting with us, their first experience of us, they quickly want to know what it is, and then if it resonates, of course, tell me more. So yeah, awesome.
So much for sharing that, Crystal. And yeah, we do this and we do that. We definitely relate to that. It's hard to get into like your elevator pitch for sure, but thank you, I appreciate it.
Yeah, we've been told by people, like, you know, once you kind of like do your pitch like 100 times, like, you know, try and just like tell your elevator pitch like your 1 minute like 100 times, it starts to become easier. And I'm like, I don't need that. And then now I'm like, oh yeah, that's really helpful. So yeah, but I'm excited now. I feel like this has really shown me what you guys are up to. And I've got, like, as we're talking, I'm like, oh, she should join. Oh, she would be good. Oh yeah, I'm going to tell her about it too. So yeah, very exciting.
Thank you. That's amazing. I wonder if there are any more questions.
Hi. I'm Justin. I had a concussion yesterday, so forgive the darkness. I actually ran a similar group for 8 years in Alberta, Ontario, and Vancouver. So we targeted 17 to 24-year-olds, mostly in school. So what I see you guys doing now is a for-profit model. We had a non-profit model. I did management consulting after that, so hence my directness. And the thing that would come up would be really looking at the stakeholders, like what spheres of influence in the community are you building? For us, we integrated with mentors and potential employers. So by creating the groups, we had a pool of talent that we could connect with potential employers when they graduated and things like that. So I'm sure you're thinking of all these things. I just wanted to hop on and say hi and offer any insight. I did ours for 8 years at 3 universities. I mostly ran it myself, but we developed the whole curriculum and a little bit more business oriented. It was called Business Leaders of Tomorrow. And I'm applying to graduate school right now. So all these things I did a long time ago are like coming to mind. Psychology major for grad school again. So we last had a group, I think, at UBC in 2015. Anyway, quick share. Thank you, and nice meeting you as well.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that share a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Also,
Thanks,
concussion yesterday. That's wild.
Yeah.
Good for you
Thank
for
you.
being on.
Maybe we can all take like a second and just send Justin some healing love energy, and anyone who's watching the replay can do the same, and then you'll be healed and faster, hopefully.
Paul and Kathy, do you want to lead us in a little intentional focus for that? If you don't mind, Justin, is that okay with you?
Of
Justin,
course.
you said hello to us. Do we know you?
Oh, yeah, I went to your circles with Seda back in the day in Vancouver for the cacao ceremony, mostly.
Okay.
It's
Right,
like 5 or
thank
6 years ago, maybe more.
Right.
So you don't know me, but I've seen you.
Right. Thank you for that. Thank you. I thought maybe you were part of the men's circles that Paul's been, maybe Kyborg Garner and those bunch, or no?
Oh, no.
There's so much that goes on in Vancouver. And I think between Crystal and Shine and Paul and I, we've been to all of it. And so we're always wondering,
Right?
oh, do I know you? Should I know you? Yeah.
I always say to people, can you remind me how I know you? Because I know you, but I don't remember how I know.
Yeah.
Is it on the right side, Justin?
Pardon me?
Whereabouts your concussion?
I was skiing, so I went down a hill and landed on my face, cross-country skiing.
Boom, shakalaka. I see.
Okay. On the
Yeah.
right side? Or the left side?
I'm feeling more on the right side, kind of
Yeah.
neck went the other way.
Yeah.
We could do a Crystal right after too. We could do everybody in the circle if you want to stay after and we don't interrupt Parisa.
Right? I wouldn't mind.
Yeah, we would do wonders with scoliosis. Well, this guy does, but yeah.
I think we're basically wrapped up, really. So we can totally wrap this up, and so the rest of the call can be about healing. That sounds so beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would just.
I wouldn't mind sharing something. It's just as I love what you ladies are doing. Thank you so much for that. And I just think about what's going on in Iran, and it just wrenches my heart. And one of our friends is involved in the big rallies and things like that, Layla, and it's heart-wrenching. And yet it's not in vain. When I see two young ladies like yourself really coming into who you are and your voice, and it's so important, and for me, as I'm listening to you, that I can feel that energy. And as I'm listening to like personal development, for me, it's more like educational. When I hear personal development, I'm thinking of night courses or something, that it just kind of has that connotation for me. But personal empowerment and authentic expression, you know, is what it seems like from what I'm just looking at is what you're about. And the ability to form meaningful community with other women, where and I was kind of feeling like, because for me anyway, there's never been a more important time for the feminine voice to be heard than now, in a powerful way. And the feminine has a lot to bring to the table, and the masculine is coming more into a line to honor that, really honor the feminine and what the feminine brings for the healing of this planet. So yeah, that was kind of what was coming up for me when I was looking and listening and feeling into your beautiful energy. And yeah, so I just kind of wanted to put that out there.
Yeah, and you know, to add to that, it's like to empower women in a way that doesn't disconnect them from you know, their life and what they're going towards. You know, like I realized I would get the king I wanted when I showed up as the queen I am meant to be. And I can't pull that from my king. I mean, we go first, you know, it's our surrender to the masculine that rises them up in their power to be responsible for the feminine, to be the protector of the feminine. And that sounds very traditional and all the rest of it. But if you get your archetypes all stripped down, there's only so much each one of us is supposed to do. And we ladies are leading the way in so many ways. And to empower our good men to be, you know, our good men, and to stand, you know, fully in themselves. We have to do it first, and then surrender our power to that masculine energy that, you know, we can't take care of everything. We take care of so much already, you know, like we're doing so much. You watch a woman go, and she can only go so long, you know, before she's, you know, like either needs another queen whose reign is fully within her own sovereignty and isn't threatened by anyone else's jurisdiction over themselves. And then she can be that one for the children, or for the older crones, or for, you know, for that man who is coming to her side. You know, and I know that Crystal and Shine have worked through so much, as have Paul and I. We continue to do that. And, you know, some women need so desperately to have that kind of platform where they can find their voice, you know. Old bitches like me, I don't have that problem, but I love the camaraderie, you know. Like to know more queens are coming through, and that we're, you know, we're rising with the men, you know.
Beautiful. You know, in mythology, isn't that beautiful? In mythology, you know, in our theory in mythology, it's the Lady of the Lake that gives King Arthur the sword, right, of kingship. And we need sovereign women, sovereign feminine, sacred feminine, for the sacred male to meet, and thereby we birth Christ conscious relationships, sacred relationships, and bring that into our communities and our families and into the world, you know? So it's beautiful.
Wow, thank you so much for sharing that, both of you. I was attracted to your energies from the beginning of the call when Paul was on the couch and Kathy was at the front. It's so sweet and so cute. And then for you guys cuddling just in front of the camera, it was so sweet. And now sharing this, I feel like I've fallen in love with you both. We'll should definitely get together in person.
I know. I had the exact same feeling. I'm like, can we just hang out? Like, are you in Vancouver? Can we grab some tea?
Yeah, we're at 41st and Granville, but you know, Crystal and Shine, we should have a small party.
Well,
At our house.
Holly and Kathy, we have parties every 2 weeks at our house out here.
What's that, hon?
We have parties every 2 weeks out here.
I
And
know. We're such
January
hermits though. But what I mean is let's not
14th.
organize an event because we do that in our sleep. Let's just get together.
well, that's what our house parties are. They're just everyone get together. So,
Okay.
but
Awesome.
now
Cool.
it's like
There you go.
hand-picked community. Although now I'm saying it on our recording, so I guess everyone else is invited too.
Well, you know what? The other thing too is that we do things like that at the same time you do. And I think I mentioned that. I'm
Yeah.
following your thread and I'm going, we're both nailing the auspicious occasions for, you know, for our communities and
We do,
missing
yeah.
each other. And so
Yeah.
sometimes the facilitators need to just have an off day by themselves together
Exactly.
without just
We'll
like,
make it
you know, complain about serving cacao for 50 people.
right. And the
Not a-
spill,
my
the
cacao drink.
spilled cacao on the floor. Oh my goodness. We'll start a
Yeah.
group chat with all of us and we'll set a play date where we get to actually just hang out. Oh,
Yeah.
so
How
good.
many people did we have at the planetarium? 400?
Adam said 400.
400?
Is
No,
that
no,
true?
the planetarium capacity was 218 or 213 or something.
That's
I've
what I
been saying
thought.
250 for years,
That's
so
what
I think
thought.
I
Okay,
don't
yeah,
think
yeah.
we quite sold it out from what I remember. So I think we had about 200 from what I remember at Europe.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember 230. I thought we sold that out for sure.
Yeah,
Did we?
I
there
thought
was
so.
some
Maybe
people.
not. I don't know.
Yeah, there wasn't any.
It was badass.
It
Regardless.
was. We have a
Yeah.
spreadsheet somewhere. We can look it up and tell you exactly how many people showed up.
Don't do that to yourself.
Absolutely love to attend one of these
Yeah,
parties.
that was
Please
legit.
let us know. Keep us in the loop for sure.
Yeah.
I did allow until 8:30 for this call,
Yeah.
so I wonder if there are some closing notes
Oh,
or
yeah.
anything to go over, Shine, before we hop off. And I
Yeah.
know that you guys wanted to do healing as well, so I guess before you guys get to the healing section, is there anything else at all?
I know you shared in the chat, but just so everyone who is going to be watching the replay knows, how do they find out about you guys? Your website is wait, I want to make sure I say it right. Yes, Soulect.
Our website.
Yep.
Yeah, our website and our our Instagram is the best way to find us. Our website's www.soulect.co. So that's spelled soul, SOULECT.co. And on there, you can either book a consultation with us in order to book a call with Parisa and I to become a member. You can also join our free circles, free open circles from there. There's a tab that says open circle. So that's for our website. And then we do have an Instagram as well that's called My Soulect. So MYSOULECT. And on there, again, there's a link to our website as well, which they can just go directly and chat with us if there's any questions. We always love meeting new people, whether it's at our open circles or just online virtually. Parisa's been actually doing our Instagram mostly, so she's been chatting away on there. Parisa, I wonder if there's anything else you'd want to add at all?
That's basically it. That the next free open circle is in 2 days. So ladies listening, join that. If you feel a calling to it, the door's open for you to join us. And where you sign up is on our website, soulect.co. And then the following Tuesday, which is about in 4 days, that's when we start the actual circle, which begins the relationship with self area of life, which is week 1 of 12 of really bringing consciousness into that part of our lives. And that's
Amazing.
basically it. This call's been really fun.
I'm going to invite a bunch of people I know for Sunday. And the ones that are lame and come back to me and say, I can't make it this Sunday, what can I tell them? When will the next one be? Because then I can onboard them, or if I can tell them to check back in a month or two, or when.
The best thing would be to put them in touch with me. We're kind of having the free open circles less and less.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't know. We haven't chosen the next date yet. I don't even know if we'll do another one after the 8th. The one happening on Sunday might be the last one ever.
Mm.
But the next best thing, if they can't come on Sunday, then it'll be just to have a call with us, just so we can get to know each other and really get all the questions answered. And then, yeah, really to go from there.
Amazing. And I would highly suggest, as a facilitator and marketer, especially as you're doing it free, to say, hey guys, as part of the free thing, please let me take some pictures and videos and use them for promo. So I'd recommend you do that on Sunday, because that would be awesome. And then I can spread those around on the internet as well.
Oh, you're so sweet. I totally made a big note as you expressed that like 30 minutes ago. I was like, that's so true. That needs to happen. That's something that when you're passionate about what you're doing, you forget about these things like the promotion and marketing, because you're in it. You're just present with what's happening. And then you're like, crap, I didn't even get a picture. But that's a good reminder.
It's intense to be holding space and thinking marketing as well. And what I do too, especially when we do like free events or intros like that, also do your best to get some testimonials then, because they just got your time for free. So hopefully they're feeling very generous and very appreciative. And yeah, just to get some testimonials of just their, because even lots of your testimonials are going to be from people who have been through your work, which is great. But to get a testimonial from someone who's like, I only knew them for 2 hours. I had no idea what I was coming into, and I felt at home right away. I met my tribe. I have now 10 new sisters that I've only known for 2 hours. Like, I'm so excited. That kind of stuff will be really great for your website as well.
Wow, you are the best.
Did we mention that the location for both the open circle and the regular circle that'll be starting on Tuesday is in Kitsilano? That's one last thing I wanted to put out there.
Yes, yeah, that will be great. We already sent this invite to all our Vancouver peeps. Well, a bunch of them, and those are the sweeties I'm going to be inviting.
Is there an event page for Sunday?
It's on our website. It's just, I put it in the chat. It's soulect.co and then /open circles.
Like a Facebook event?
No, we haven't been making Facebook events. It's just through our site.
The reason we do Facebook events and we find them really effective right now is the way Facebook is promoting events, Facebook events in groups, is anytime you share a Facebook event in a Facebook group, it goes on that little sidebar with upcoming events, and it goes sometimes in their pinned top thing as well. So we find it works really great, and then we share it to all the Vancouver women in business groups, all the Vancouver wellness groups. And if you share your website link in Facebook, Facebook is really prioritizing people staying on Facebook. So they give much more reach to you sharing your Facebook event than your website. So what we do is we make a Facebook event, and then that links to your website, and more information, go here and sign up, go here. But just to have that catch page. And then also for us, we can invite all our people to that instead of just sending them all the link. And then if they comment or talk there, then it bumps it up for all their everyone else who's in there. And we say, hey, everyone, don't forget it's coming up. And we find it has so much more impact than just sending one website once. So that's why we do Facebook.
You are a bank of knowledge.
Yeah, thank you very much.
We've only done this for a minute.
Beautiful. Thank you guys so much for hosting these and for gathering such amazing people. This is only my second call with you all, but both times it's been so interesting, and the vibe and the energy of the call is so loving and casual. I just feel like I'm sitting here hanging out with friends, drinking tea, sipping on my tea. So thank you, and so lovely to meet all the others on this call. And Kathy and Paul, it was beautiful to speak with you.
can't wait to connect in person. Love to you all.
I want to talk with you girls more about the like big vision, next level stuff and co-creation, but we'll do that another time.
Absolutely. Let's do it. Thank you all for hosting, and I hope you have a wonderful Friday evening and great weekend.
It's Friday.
It is. Happy Friday.
It's Friday to us.
Yeah.
This is what happens when every day feels like Friday for you, I guess, Kathy. You're living your life as the queen that you are. Amazing.
She is a queen.
Have a great evening.
Hey, Crystal.
Hey.
Yeah.
From the back.
Bathtub with
Oh, I love
Bloody kisses. There you
it. I love it. Can't get better than this. Bye, everybody.
go. Bye. So good to see you guys. Aw.
Oh, it's just us. The girls left. Well, let's do some healing.
Is
Yeah.
it Katja?
Katja.
Katja?
Kaisa.
That's
Kaisa.
just the
Hi.
mama.
That's
I
my
know,
mom.
but he's asking how to pronounce her name properly first.
In Sweden, the J makes an I. So
Kaisa.
Kaisa. The same,
Okay.
the same as my sister is Maya with a J.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Kaisa.
Kaisa. That's
Nice.
my mama.
Kaisa.
Kaisa.
Yeah, well, good to see
There you
you and meet you. Yeah. And we haven't heard from Stephen too, is he?
Kaisa went to Clearmind. You guys did too,
Oh,
right?
she did. When
Yeah.
when did you go, guys?
I graduated, well, I went from 2011 to 15.
Oh, okay.
No. Oh,
Nice.
did you say
That's
Clear?
wrong.
Never mind. Yeah.
11 to 2011 to 15. Yeah.
To
3
15.
years,
Oh,
the
okay.
program.
I think I was like 2003 or 5 or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
3, because I'm
yeah.
junior in
Right, yeah,
2005.
so when you
You're well into it.
well into yeah, well, maybe 2000, 2001, 2001. Yeah. Well, it's a great program. It's a great program.
And Mama is now she's a successful full-time counselor. She's been working for three years full-time, 4 years now, Mom?
3 years in April.
Yeah,
Wow.
full-time. She's booked up. Yeah.
Wow, fantastic. Awesome. Great
Mhm.
Follow
stuff.
your bliss, right?
Yeah, big time. Okay.
Mm.
Well, hey, right now, Crystal, where were you? What was happening for you? You mentioned toe. Which toe? And
The left ring finger toe, the fourth one.
fourth one. Okay.
I don't know what you call it. What do all the baby toes have the same names as the fingers?
Right beside the baby toe.
Is it
No,
next
they
to
don't
the-
have names. They
No,
got
so
big toe and baby toe and all the ones in the middle. So the one
Yeah,
right beside the
so,
baby
so,
toe.
so second from the baby or fourth from the big one. It would be, it's the little piggy that
That's
didn't eat
fine.
roast beef. Yeah, that one. What is it? This little piggy went home. This little piggy had roast. Oh, it's the little piggy who had none. That's right. That's the one.
Yeah, that's right. And any you were mentioning some other things too about scoliosis a little bit.
So I have scoliosis in like my middle spine, which my ballet teacher noticed when I was a kid. And what it does is it causes my ribs to be pushed out. So it's on the right side. It goes right. So the right ribs in the middle push out a little bit, which juts my shoulder blade out. So I have like those wing shoulder blades on one side, like it never goes nice and flat. And what that contributes to, other than getting painful sometimes, is then I kind of hunch more because it's sore, and then my front ribs and muscles and everything gets sore as well. So because it's all tight and a little overextended, when I do anything like what is it, triangle pose, when you're like yoga warrior and then you put your hand down and your other hand up, So I did that in my 20s, and the teacher came and pushed my arm back, and it like ding, and I felt the rib go out. And then since then, anytime when I've kind of lifted something big over my head or stretched it weird, the ribs will come out on that side. And yeah, then a couple more will kind of wing out as well. So there's the long story of it. So it needs more, the spine straightening, and then the muscles all easing off and relaxing so that they can get into place and stop pulling each other out of alignment.
Mm,
Little war in my back.
yeah. Well, if you ever get the chance to come see me, that's what I love to do. We've actually had a few people with scoliosis where they've gone back and the x-rays are completely different.
Oh, I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
So, okay, I see some visits to you guys shortly.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I would love to do that.
Yeah.
And Justin, you were saying on the right side, hey, like the right side of your concussion?
Yeah, it feels more like the right medial.
Yeah. Yeah, you can kind of see your right, your right eye is different than your left. Yeah, there's certain signs when you get concussion.
Yeah, it was very minor. I had a very severe one about 15 years ago. Yesterday was felt quite minor.
Yeah. So did it inflame your neck from your previous injury? Or is the neck there is just kind of part of the...
It triggered a few dormant things. I was hit by a car once too, like 10 years ago. So I was guessed that I realized I had some dormant muscle encodings that were activated. That
were in there. Yeah, maybe that's why I see your eye too, because your other one was more severe, and then this little bit of a one sometimes activates, right? And it's not to give it energy for sure. It's just to feel into how we can best support you right now. The scope of it. Yeah. And your neck. Yeah. What's the pain in your neck right now? 1 to 10.
7 out of 10.
Out of 7. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty intense.
Okay. Yeah. The first concussion could have been life ending. So this one I was very grateful.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. That was what I was picking up. Okay. Yeah. So, beautiful. All right.
Are we okay to keep recording? I think this is cool for people to see.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah. This is great. Okay. Well, we'll do it almost like a little bit of a meditation.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Just give ourselves a chance now to come into the heart, into the body. And of course, the best way is always following the breath, right? Follow your breath. And as you're following your breath, see if you can connect to the perineum, right? At the very base of the spine below the sacrum. Pull the energy up from there all the way to the crown and fill your body with that energy. Let's send our roots out of the feet and connect our spine. See a stem, a root going through the base of the spine, all the way into the earth, all the way to the very center of Mother Gaia. We're pulling all the heart energy up from Mother Gaia, the earth, the love, just pulling it out, filling our whole body with that. Exhaling, expanding into every cell. And let's shoot a beam out of the crown all the way to the galactic mother center and pull that light down with an in-breath all the way to the bottom of our feet. Just fill our bodies up with light. And let's take another one of those breaths, pulling the light. All the galactic energy, every star energy, planetary energy, just pulling it in. And then one more time down to the earth, Mother Gaia's heart, the lava, the roots, the earth, bring that up and fill up every cell. And then one more to the top, all the way to the Mother Galactic core. Pull that energy down, that beam, all the way, and fill the body up with light. And now I'd like to invite you to just either think of someone you love or a time in your life when you were just so alive and full of love. and passion and energy and vitality, and bring that in now as real as you can make it with all your senses, and let yourself feel it in the heart. Feel the state of what that was, and breathe it literally into the heart. And then on the out breath, expand it into the heart and see the heart expanding out a bit more. And then bring it to the center again. Breathe in the love, really feeling that state, and then expand it throughout your whole body until your whole body is filled with that state. And then let's go out a little bit more with this love energy and just see a bubble around all of it. Filling that bubble with light and love, and see our bubbles go connect as one. So we're all one now. We're all one in this bubble of light and love, Mother Gaia's love. And I just invite everyone now to envision Justin right on the right side, and the neck and the muscles. And at the same time, we can do it for Crystal as well, or that specific toe of the back. And just envision them moving into perfect health, right? Calming down, coming into wholeness. And just invite you to breathe that love deep into the heart and exhale it, and see it going to Crystal and Justin and enveloping those areas with light and love. And so we're just breathing through our heart into the heart, and we're exhaling through the heart, and we're intending and sending that energy, and just see it enveloping with golden light. Or, you might want to send it as butterflies or whales or dolphins, and feel the joy, rainbows. Like, just let yourself really feel into that wonder and see it going into those specific areas. Everything coming into harmony, into alignment. And actually, energy vortexes too. So maybe you want to see it vortexing out of the heart, just to really feel the power of that love vortexing out of the heart and encompassing those areas fully with that golden light. Let's call in all our guides now. Call in the power team, the galactic team, the team of light, and see them all coming in to join us and enveloping these beautiful beings with love and light, especially these specific areas. Feel their vibration, allow that to impact our heart, expand our heart, deepen, and feel that energy moving, oscillating, flowing. Just pure love. Let's take a couple of big breaths and nice exhale. So big breath in, send it through the heart. Big breath in, send it through the heart. And one more. Thanking all our guides, each other, Mother Gaia, the Galactic Mother, all beings, and especially each soul heart here.
Okay. So one of the things that we are instructors of is quantum touch. And one of the things that you can do for yourself right now, or you can imagine anyone else in this circle doing for you, is we level the occipital ridge with love and energy, right? And it's so simple. When the occiput is finding its balance, it balances the hips, and then that kind of moves the spine nicely, and it starts to bring the shoulder blades down a little bit, and allows us to, you know, have that alignment. And you can do that. You can even imagine, like, you can call in the energy of somebody who made you feel really good. Or if you've ever had a session with Paul and he's done that, you can, you know, when everything is moving in that way. And so we can do that right now, and just for each other right here in the circle. If you turn sideways, Paul, I'll show how that goes. So we just take that breath in, and these thumbs go up the side of the neck until they hit the occiput, and then I can put my fingers here, and I can bring the breath up through my body into my heart, and down from my crown and into my heart, and through my hands, right out through my arms into my hands. And he will take the energy in as he needs it, as whoever you're directing it at needs it, because the person who's offering this energy isn't the healer, it's the person who's receiving. And their inner healer knows exactly what to do with any entrainment that they need at this moment. So we don't look to force anything. It's not about coming to a conclusion or making a healing happen. It's about the coherence of your energy. And your head is the center of all of this, right? And so when we bring the thumbs up and just touch the bottom of the occipital ridge, even on yourself, you can feel, and you just feel, love your head. Love the plates of your head where they might have gotten skewed a little bit because they were jarred, or you slept a certain way, or an injury is causing you constriction in one area of your body that's bringing in a stressor for any other part. It's all going to show up here in your command center, because it all comes down from here out into the spine, out into every organ, and out into the limbs, right? And we have that resonance through the breath coming up through the whole body, and then just coming out of your hands, just being in love with this head, this beautiful, beautiful thing on top of this body that is just so full of magnificence. And so we can do this right now as a group, now that we know how to do it for each other. And we can just imagine, you know, Crystal is laying on a massage table or standing up in front of us, and we're looking at her back. And the first thing we do is we go to our occipital ridge, and we just breathe the love into that. And let things settle a little bit. And then just bring the energy down, and just let your hands rest on her hips a little bit so that she can feel her pelvic girdle, her whole cauldron of creation settling. And that'll bring strength and coherence to the core of the spine. And as that spine goes up, it will start to let the shoulders come down. Tucking the chin ever so slightly, tilting the pelvis just a little bit to bring stability. And you can breathe. A nice breath is a 4-4 breath. It's like in for 4 and then out of your hands for 4. And the hands are just the little game we play with our body. All this can be done just through your heart. And then we can go to Justin and we can just very gently put a halo of energy around his head. And just feel where anything might be radiating extra energy because of all of the healing turmoil inside, as all the cells and all the aspects of self look to repair here. It's like a harvest of healing when the body is in a crisis, in a current and acute situation. There's a harvest of healing going on. The whole body is trilling, supporting this one spot. And we can bring our hands back up the neck and up to the occipital ridge now, and just gently cradle his head and let that love flow into the head. Just take a deep breath in, and then just expand and breathe out through your heart. Breathe with your heart. Just gently soothe the whole back. All of the minute adjustments of the very tiniest bits of ourselves right up against the spine. All those connectors, just letting go, finding the right place.
And we'll just shower golden light over the group now. It's coming over all of us, filling every cell with golden light. Just think of like a pyramid over top of the cell. And we're flowing golden honey, light, filling up every cell.
And you can take those, the 5 corners of that tetrahedron, that pyramid over us, and just pull them out like you would expand something you're looking at on a screen. And just take it out over your room and over your house. And just let that energy hold itself in that healing space. Hold the energy and just, it's like a cuddling of a baby, you know? And just touch into the innocence at your core. Yeah. And your body deserves peace. Thank your body. All the good things it's done for you so far. Let it know you love what it's done and how beautiful it is. How it's become your best friend in this life. And we can send Kaisa some energy too. She can be nourished as she goes out every day. She's so fresh with all her giving, and she's so loving, and she's probably getting so much. Pictures of golden light poured into her. for sound sleep, clarity of mind. And shine his throat chakra. You know, we can all just be little dwarfs of the divine light, and his headlight of a throat chakra, that he's speaking his truth to this whole world. We're like little gnomes with little brushes, brightening and cleaning off a mud or a scraper and anything that's not allowing, that's allowing now to be just flow, just pure flow. Go tell your story, Sara. It's beautiful.
It's kind of like a supernova of light and love. Yeah. Whoa.
So good. Whew.
Thank you, everybody. Wow. Are you
How
feeling
many days have
crystal?
passed?
What's that, honey?
How many days have passed? How long was I out? I feel like I just woke up. It was epic.
Oh, that was so good. Yeah, I felt as soon as like I kind of dropped in, my back was twinging, and because I've been kind of sitting in the same position in the bath here, and as soon as we dropped in a little bit into that, the twinging went away, and then I kept getting like these waves, and I know the temperature in my bath wasn't changing, but it would be like hot, cold, then we get like shivers, then it get hot again. It was really good. So good. Yeah, the pain is gone. My headache is gone. My back feels like the twinges feel completely like softened out. Yeah. How are you, Justin?
Justin?
Feels like an ice cube was melting in my head.
So good.
It'll take some time. Yeah.
There we go.
Make sure you guys don't die without people knowing what you know.
That's not possible. That means you're asking me to stay alive all the time.
Hey, Stephen.
Good night, Stephen.
Thank you so much.
Wow.
Yeah.
Tell my story. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Shine on.
Yeah.
Through your crystal.
Through your crystal. Yeah, shine on through crystal. Good.
Nothing like a fractured, fractalized,
right?
kaleidoscopic shine.
So true. Justin, thank you so much for showing up tonight and bringing that, because that was such a good catalyst. So good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thanks, Paul and Kathy, for like bringing it.
Oh yeah, actually that was going to be my question, because we do so much promoting stuff everywhere, and I wanted to know, Stephen, Justin, and Kathy and Paul. I mean, maybe you saw it in multiple places, but how did you get on here tonight? Like, where did you mainly see to come on here? Which one got you in? Facebook, Insta, like all the different places.
Messenger on Facebook, because I don't go on the regular Facebook. I haven't been on since the beginning in 2020.
Okay, so it was Shine sharing in one of the messenger chat. Got it. Justin, how about you?
Facebook Live video.
Oh, nice. Oh, so you saw Shine go live on Facebook and then you came on to Unite?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, good. We're always messing with all our phones and trying to get on live everywhere. And I always wonder if it's worth the work. So yeah, and Stephen, if you feel like letting us know where you saw us tonight too, that would be awesome.
How about you,
Yay.
Parisa? Just kidding.
Yeah, she might have heard it somewhere sometime.
She's in the main line.
Mama lives with us, so she has a hard time not showing up. She's right next door.
That's
So
cute.
good. Oh, thank you so much, Paul and Kathy.
That was the best.
Yeah.
We need to do a
Yeah,
Unite
just
show with you
felt
guys.
inspired to come and see you guys. You've been just like coming up all the time.
Oh,
In the head, you know, like so I have to pay attention.
We need to do a Unite show with you, and then
Yeah.
we can have some time to go through the Unite platform and get you guys all set up and help.
Yeah.
That would
promote
be
what you're doing even
brilliant.
more. And
Yeah.
And
Thank
then
you.
we'll do a show and talk about. I mean, people will have all kinds of juicy questions for you, but then of course promote anything that you've got offering and on the go, and yeah, all the good stuff. Oh, so good. Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, Matt Kahn.
Yeah.
If you know him, please connect us.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, we're looking for new speakers every week, and yeah, this is so good. But I love, this is Paul and Kathy, this is exactly what we wanted the love stream to be, is to be something that people are just going live all the time, having conversations. Sometimes it's structured like it's a show or a sound healing, and sometimes it's just like, hey, who wants to talk about events? Who wants to talk about eco villages? Let's all meet up at this time. And then other times it's just going to be people randomly. We know it's not random, but universe calls us and we show up and we don't even know why. And it's all for perfect timing. That's, we keep saying, like, that's why we love living with people, because we have these great conversations and someone says the right thing at the right time. And it's so hard, like you said, we have to make appointments to see our friends. Like, hey, I forgot, we have to go see you guys. Like, we have to make an appointment. And it's so much nicer when you're in proximity and you just like go downstairs and there they are and you have these conversations. So we wanted to do with Unite and the platform kind of what we do in our collective houses, where we're kind of creating a space where we can have these spontaneous connections and alignments, and are becoming each other's step 2 moment of showing up. And Shine and I have been both calling in a lot of body healing. Shine did his back and shoulder and ankle over the last 6 months, and we've both been like having to like stop and heal our bodies. And yeah, exactly. And I'm like, oh, of course, Paul, I completely like, but we forget, we only have so much space in our brains. And it was like, oh yeah, of course. So thank you.
He's really good.
Yeah. We've got some pieces we're very excited to optimize, Shine and I. So you'll see us. We'll come paddle over and knock down your door.
Yeah.
Let us know what.
Well, we're putting together a whole practitioner program around cacao journeys, because we've got to get this meditation out to others, and they can't just be given it to do, So because that would do. Well, we can't just give out the meditation. We did for a bit there, like sell it or something like that, because it's such a field now after 12 years of doing cacao journeys. And and so it's about all the things that has built the field for us, because we have such incredible experiences. And it's the same meditation. Some people have come for 50 and 60 cacao journeys with us. And we only do them once a month, right, at this point. And so we've finally figured out what we do.
Well, I think you two should come lead a cacao journey on Tuesday, February 16th at our big event at the church. Thursday. And then Thursday, not Tuesday, Thursday the 16th. And you can do the cacao journey before the sound healing and ecstatic dance. And then we can tell everyone, if you thought this was epic, you can get it and do the practitioner cacao training. And because there's so many people in our community who are leading cacao now. And I'm so grateful that people are doing it, and that's great. And everyone wants to keep up leveling and offering the best thing they can. So I really feel like you are exactly what our community is calling for, is somebody to like, how can I level my practice? So
well, you know what I've found, Crystal, is that the guy who taught me how to do cacao journeys is the guy it's Keith's Cacao, right? And he has a practitioner program. And after 11 years of doing cacao journeys, his instructions, I went and took his practitioner course just for the heck of it, and found out that while we were here in Vancouver, kind of just bumping along and maybe did the odd thing like a planetarium or a festival or something like that, this cacao journey thing was just going crazy out there.
Yeah.
And that in these practitioner courses, what we understood was nobody knows what to do in them.
Yes.
And everybody's going super woo-woo, cool, like reverent and whispering. And it's like, if you made a loud noise, it's like, oh, you're going to ruin the cacao journey. And it's just ridiculous.
Right.
And it's just like, I kept saying, just be you. Like, if that's not you, if that's you, that's great. I mean, but that doesn't mean that's the criteria. And the other thing that I came to understand is that, what we put together with Adam and others and Jerry and everything was Kundalini Yoga Breathwork 12 Chakra Cacao Journey meditation. And there's nothing like it on the planet. People are like, what?
Right.
And it's, why aren't you people viral? And it's just like, not ready. And now it's just like, ready.
Yeah.
And it's so bizarre. And it's so good. And we've never felt more fulfilled in it. And it's our centerpiece. It's our community piece. It's what we've drawn our community around for a decade more. And and now it's time to go out into a global community, travel with it, set up people. We've had people from we've traveled to Los Angeles or Lisbon or something like that. We end up doing this. And then everybody's, like 2 years afterwards, some participant from somebody else's workshop where we came as a guest as a cacao journey are coming back and saying, I've never had an experience like it since. And can you give me that thing? And so that, Crystal, how ridiculous that would be to do that. And so where we are at right now, and this is sort of like turning into our little thing, isn't it now? But where we are at right now is really understanding the role cacao has played in our lives, and that it's always our community in that way, right?
Yeah, I have a cacao journey multiple times a day.
Right? She works with you no matter where you are. If you burnt the cacao, she'd still work with you. And to teach others and to share that meditation in honor of the meditation and the effort we've put into creating that field around it the last 12 years. And and all the other things that go with it.
I love that you're really focusing on like the trainer piece, because I think there's so many people, that's the main people we're really serving on the Unite platform, and the main people in our community are the providers, are the people who have practices and who have events already. And like you said, like people like to know what your criteria, your certificates are. People like to know that you've kind of done some work around this
Mhm.
area, and it really takes an event from like, oh, it's a meditation, to, oh, it's like a cacao ceremony. Like it takes it, and it's not technically like a huge different thing, but you can infuse and make it so much deeper with just the knowing and bring the consciousness and bring that awareness. And I think so many people, there's so many practitioners we know who have lovely offerings who would just benefit so much from just, yeah, your little pieces and little tools. And that's so exciting.
Yeah.
So you have a whole course worked out, or what phase are you in?
Well, we've been brainstorming for about a decade, right? And you know, I don't know about you guys when you get creating something, but I start, you know, like if I'm writing a newsletter, I start with the picture I'm putting in the newsletter and coloring my banner to match the picture. Like I kind of backwards my way into it. And the last thing I do is write the whole thing. And that's kind of how we're doing this as well. In some ways, it's like, we've got the URL, the Anahata Cacao Journey. And, you know, we've got, you know, all the people in place to do all the things once we, and then looking at it, you know, like recently what we've started doing is private cacao journeys, and it came out of the Zoom stuff, right? And so then people wanted to come to the Zoom where we didn't have live, even though we'd come back to doing live. And so we'd say, okay, well, just a small group, because, you know, we really want to pay attention to the Zoom people because we want to go global with our Zoom cacao journeys. But we also want to do the lives in Vancouver and Los Angeles, New York, you know, Costa Rica, Bali, Thailand, all that stuff. And so what we wanted to do, so then people would come to that, and we'd try to keep the live people quiet. This is for the Zoom people, right? And we'd keep it down to like 5 or 10 people. Mona would bring like her posse from some Tony Robbins thing and that kind of thing. And the Tony Robbins people were like, what? And and so we thought, okay, now we have to start, we started doing private cacao journeys for intentional groups, and weaving a little bit of gene keys into it, because the gene keys are a big part in human design of our path in so many ways. And
so good. Yeah,
see as fuck, you know. It's really fun.
So good. We were just our love stream, I think it was 3, or not love stream, our Unite show, well, it is on the love stream, but our Unite show 2 weeks ago, we were with, do you know Mike Reed, SoundQuest, sound healer?
No.
Oh my goodness. Whenever I think, because I the last time we saw you was at your birthday when you got your gong. And whenever I think of Mike, and I think of your gong, because he has beautiful gongs, he does his sound healing journeys are with these beautiful gongs. So you would love each other. And if you come with us on our next event on the 16th, he'll be leading the gong bath after you guys. So that would be amazing.
February 16th, right?
Yeah.
And you and do a cacao journey, do the Anahata before the sound bath and the ecstatic dance.
We could do we could do long, or we could do a short one. It's up to you. And
so that's a Thursday night. Oh, that's easy.
Yeah,
you know, I was talking to Andrew Resmer when we went to the spirit plant medicine thing, and we were talking about, because we all started back in that retreat that Paul started, and then we revived as a couple called Living Vision, right? And and Theta, who'd come to Living Vision, sang for the first time at Living Vision publicly, and Shine, who'd come to Living Vision for the Saturday night Shine Your Light, and drummed with you know, Pepe and all that, and Andrew, and you know, Mona was there, and she was saying, I've never heard this Shine guy before, you know, and Andrew and I are looking at each other like, it was like, well, they've all been at Living Vision. That's how they all got started. That's how we all know each other. And then Andrew and I kind of laughed and went, now we're all living our vision, right? And then I said, you know, I think we should do a cacao journey at one of these spirit plant medicine things. And he goes, you don't have to wait for the year, you know, just do it online with us. And it was just like, it was sort of like because all of this has come through for Paul and I in the last 6 months. We had to go through all this stuff. Like you don't always get your full download and everything. And it's not like we didn't do this one piece or this one piece or that one piece, but they didn't join and they didn't resonate to each other, and they didn't flow with each other like they do now. It's just like, you can't, like, it's just like everywhere. It's magnificence. It's just like, wow, we're going to have so much fun doing this.
Yeah.
And so it's like, it's quite, and you know what, I don't think I've sent a text message because I wanted to make sure Paul was good with it, but we do a cacao journey every month. And for us, it's the equinoxes and the solstices that are also like the big ones, like we just like very important. And so we booked Bridget and Rich for March 18th for the Saturday afternoon evening. And we're going to open the evening to our regular cacao people, but we want to have a course prior to where it's like the anahata deepening, where we bring in a few of the elements where they understand their body, their breath, and who they are a little bit more, and why we're here to breathe this way with cacao.
And we can promo that then in February.
Yeah.
Yay. That's one of the reasons we're doing it on a Thursday night, is because we tried to book the church, and because we did such a good job, I think it's all our contribution of promoting the venue over the last few years to our community. So it's totally booked all the weekends. So that's why we're doing it Thursday night.
Oh my God.
We're even talking about, once this gets really rolling, doing the planetarium again.
We were thinking maybe you might want to try that one. And are they letting you back in yet? No,
we haven't reached back out to them, and since I think that was about 3 years ago or 4 years ago, the last time we reached out to them.
Well, we could reach out.
We had an okay relationship.
Yeah, it was just the fancy visuals. Whatever they have already, anyone can do anytime.
Yeah, it was
just plugging in the new visuals.
The Dream Journey show was too complicated for them.
Well, what year was that? 2017? Yes.
Oh yeah, we started.
Yes, it was, because
7 years. Well, when we did Anahate
at the planetarium, that was 7 years ago.
There you go.
Yeah, that was a long
time. In the chat, Justin said, "Let's rent out BC Place and have the world's biggest cacao ceremony." That is the plan.
By the ocean.
That is a vision. We're working towards it.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to bounce everyone. It's
Do you remember Maya Balam? Remember she lived in the first lighthouse with us, Shine?
Yeah.
And she came to that planetarium event, and she said, I've never seen a cacao journey this big. There hasn't been one yet. And I said, oh, come on, what about Burning Man? And she said, no. That was one of the biggest cacao journeys that somebody had put on. I mean, it was the making of the cacao with their electrical system that was the really challenging thing. Remember that?
Oh, right. We kept blowing the breakers. I remember that. Oh my goodness. Yeah, and we had to like.
I blew every freaking circuit. I had to finally go down to the bottom floor in the lunch room.
Oh yeah, that was so.
Remember that for the hot water.
Like, for the next one, we can get like a
portable
battery powered generator.
Yeah,
generator.
Solar generator, and we'll set up a little tent outside, and we'll make the cacao out there.
Yeah. Well, you know what I had done too was I had pre-melted like my paste.
Yeah.
And that's really how you should do it anyway. Is very little water, kind of warm to hot, where all your paste goes in, and you just let it kind of just melt. And then you go in and start stirring, and it's like a thick paste. Yeah. And then you add a little bit water. I use a lot less water now in my cacao. It's much thicker, and it still has a paste on the bottom, but I'm learning how to use my the remnants from a pot in cookies and desserts and things like that to serve after the next cacao journey. You something, and then you freeze it, and the next thing you know, it comes out, and it's the last cacao journey's left.
And Kathy's got a secret recipe for a really good tasting one, like one where you're just like, last time, you want to, Yeah,
Nice.
so
Well,
yeah,
you know what I found out
You
too?
should include that as like your, your free, like, you sign up and for your training and you get the secret recipe.
yeah.
That's
Or
the
you get a
bonus.
bag of the secret
Oh,
recipe.
then you have to figure it out. You have to like
Yeah.
test it and try and like make it from taste. There you go.
You should come visit. We have the most beautiful home overlooking the ocean with a view of Mount Baker, and it's
Oh,
insane.
love to.
And
Yeah.
our living room can fit easy 50, 60 people, and we can
Oh,
do it.
Wow.
beautiful. Right.
Sounds
That's
like
really
our
good.
basement. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. You know, did you guys find renters yet?
We've still got
No
to
suite.
our basement
We have a
suite.
2-bedroom suite.
Yeah.
Okay. Because our whole house is moving out February 1st.
Wow, where they
And
going?
we've decided to take some of the whole basement area. There was one room we used to rent out. Adam used to have the room we're in right now, which is in the basement, which I took over as my healing room.
Yeah.
Then there used to be, then he had a studio on the other side of the bathroom. I don't know if you remember the setup. And that was a bedroom for someone for a while. And we're not having anybody sleep down here except the guest and the other one that's called the Wooden Womb, which is basically Sadie's permanent place to come and crash if she ever needs to come back. But we're trying to take over our own house more.
Amazing.
Live with less people.
Yeah.
Just step up our earning, like it, and not worry about using people to supplement the rent of the 6,000 square foot house. And some people would say, well, move out of the 6,000 square foot house. And it's just like, well, no, I don't want to.
Why?
How about
My
Love it.
Aw. So
I got
good.
it. Got used to mansion living when we started off at the lighthouse there. Like, wasn't that nice?
So good.
That.
Those parties at the first lighthouse were epic. The living room was massive.
Yeah,
Those were
beautiful place.
fun. Like we would get the vibe high.
Oh yeah. You know, I gotta tell you, Shine, that when you sang that country song,
I know, it's so good.
right, about and that Silent Night, the right, and told the story about how they all came out of the trenches to join each other. I had a moment, I'm telling you, I had a moment, like you took me somewhere.
Yeah.
I never forget that. That was powerful. Are you still like pretty into your music? Are you making sure you've got that in your life?
Not often, but it's still there. I'll still perform once in a while. And
Mom's shaking her head. No.
Yeah, well, Shine's got a gift, man. Yeah, just wanted to share that with you. Never forgot.
He needs to. He needs to.
Yeah.
You have to shine.
Yeah, the song is called Bellow Wood, and Garth Brooks recorded it.
Oh, it's called Bellow Wood?
Yeah, Belleau. And I think that's where it happened. Yeah. And Garth Brooks has some amazing songs that he recorded over the years that are just so powerful and transportive and meaningful and like just really, really beautiful. He's such an amazing artist, and I listened to him a lot as a teenager, and so that's
so good.
Yeah. I went to school in Saskatchewan, and my mom moved to Calgary, so I had my share of country music influences.
Nice. I love.
What else are you gonna do in the winter, right?
Hey, I'm in Alberta right now, so that's correct.
Oh, are you, Justin?
There you go.
Yeah.
Still winter there. We're hoping for spring soon here.
It's coming.
It's coming. Yeah.
Well, I'm so glad I followed my impulse to just hop on, despite not being able to get on. I kept trying and trying, and I was like, I'm going to be annoying here and ask how to get in.
Always be annoying. We love it.
What were you using? Safari or? What computer?
Firefox, I thought.
Firefox. Oh, might be not
Yeah.
working on Firefox.
Yeah,
but
I was in the message here. What
it's good for
happened
us
there?
to know because, and all these things we're learning that they have to optimize differently for every platform and every different server and everything.
Yeah,
So,
because what happened was I would click on the link, and then when I went to the page, what would happen was
You couldn't scroll down.
the bottom part didn't show up. So I couldn't get down to join. It wasn't giving me the whole page.
Firefox. Okay, we'll tell our team.
Firefox.
It's such a thing.
And the other
Building-
thing too is that I've got a whole bunch of stuff. I got to get back into social media, so I want to talk to you about that at some point too.
Yeah.
We just got to keep making all this money so that we can hire all these beautiful souls. Help us get our work out there.
And we keep getting Unite rocking so that we don't need people to market us anymore. We just have Unite. Everyone comes and they know where we are. So that's the ultimate goal, so that we don't have to be marketers as well as do the rest of our life.
Yeah.
Unless people want to, then they can market.
Well, you know, Paul's nephew is in Bangkok, and he does ocean cleanup with a group from New York that has a head office in Los Angeles, and he just came over to see them. And he's one of the most successful at the ocean cleanup of all the communities around the world in Bangkok. But he got into all of it when he went over there by doing SEO and building websites. And now he's acquiring all these unsuccessful companies because he's got he's so good at what he does, and he's got this partner now, and they're just, so it's like I just have to get coherent in so many ways, you know, that it's like there's somebody there waiting to help you, but you've got to just take those final steps yourself. And that's, you know, we kept saying to people, we haven't had our download, and the download is the experience.
Yeah.
You can't push that into a shorter period of time. You know, the experience for us, it wasn't what or how, it was just do, you know. And now, like, we got creds for miles and did it all in the dark with nobody even watching on some level. And then we come out and open the door and everybody's doing it. And we're just like, huh, look at this. We sit right in at the party now. And we just gotta do that. So that's our goal, is to be fearless in our bravery around just doing it now.
Yeah.
Love it.
So good.
We're here to support.
Yep.
I think so. That's I think why we ended up here tonight, because, you know, I'm a very intuitive woman.
Yes. Just a little bit, Kathy. Just a little. Well, you guys can help us get aligned in the body realm, and we'll help you get aligned in the digital marketing, getting yourselves out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'll just align my neck.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, we line Justin's neck in the middle of it all.
Justin, send Cornelia to Unite and get her to add all her stuff, and we'll promote it for her.
That's why I punched her name in. Yeah.
Yay.
Awesome.
This healing will go on for a few days, Justin.
Brian, do you guys have many clients or members in Alberta or Calgary specifically on Unite?
We have two groups. We have Unite Edmonton and Unite Calgary on Facebook, and they each have about like 50 to 90 people, I think. So like not nothing. There's a few.
Okay.
Not super active yet. We need to whip it into shape.
Yeah, we've actually got 90 countries represented on Unite now.
On the platform,
We have 1,863 members or something, and like a third of those have businesses and all over the world. So it's super cool.
Yeah, it's growing. What did we say? You said there was 100 active users on Unite yesterday?
Yeah, 100 people used it yesterday, which was pretty cool.
Which is really exciting. And then we have new people, how many people, new people joining every month. We get like we're getting a
About
couple
100.
hundred. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well,
chugging
I'm gonna
along.
sign off for the night. Thank you very much, everyone. Many
Thank you
blessings.
so much,
Good night.
Justin, for joining
Bye,
us.
Justin.
See you,
Yeah.
Justin. It's great to
Thanks for
meet
bringing
you.
your
Take care of
your
yourself.
concussion magic. That was
Yeah.
powerful for everyone.
Yeah. So good.
All right. Good night.
All right.
Good
See
Okay.
you, Justin.
Well, we're in. We'll be seeing y'all soon. Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
Justin,
doing January 15th, 14th, next Saturday, not this Saturday, but the next one. We're having a party at our house.
Shine, why don't we stop the recording and then we can go over details.
All right.
oh,
Bye,
you know what?
everyone.
We have
Love
a
you.
cacao journey here that night.
Oh, you do, cool.
I'm just going to send the news.